Who do you think will win in a fight between Jigglypuff and the Ghostbusters Marshmallow?
Marshmallow
You mean
Man.
like Stay Puff? The Stay Puff Marshmallow Man?
Marshmallow Man.
It's like
Like
the
if they were like
size.
take them down to like, you know, your average human size. So pick them down to 6 feet.
So you're saying if both of them were equal in stature, Jigglypuff, because Jigglypuff will still be more round.
And he has actually moves.
And Jigglypuff can put people to sleep.
Well, people to sleep.
Well,
we don't know if he could put
marshmallows to sleep.
This is ILNL, I guess. Welcome to ILNL.
I don't know what's in your tea, but I had the same tea, and I'm not coming up with any thoughts like that. That was great.
I just
Stay Puffed versus Jigglypuff.
Random moments in Cortez history.
Good job. Welcome back to the show. Chico's in the building. Chris is in the building. I just dropped my phone. It's all good. Thank you, Apple. So we were at the event known as AwesomeCon a couple of weeks ago, and I recall saying in the 100th episode that we would start doing production. Whoa.
Awesome.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
good job. And we mentioned that we were going to be shooting for the possible creation of a documentary, which we did. And
people showed up.
Shout
out to those people.
Yeah, that was very cool.
People be peopling, and they came and peopled.
Yeah. Special thanks to, of course, all the panel that's here, and special thanks to Baroness Bree for coming out and being a part of it. Also, those that supported with camera work, thank you very much for your work. So that's Nikki and Jamal. And of course, thank you, AwesomeCon, for having us again consecutively. I think that's the only convention I could think of that we go to where we're there almost every year.
Yeah. Wow.
Minus the pandemic.
Right.
So thank you, AwesomeCon, for having us and making room for us. And in this episode of our show...
Well, in fairness, we were there since the first one.
But paneling-wise...
Paneling, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But we've always gone.
Not as patrons, but they're being a part of the show. Yeah.
No, because we did tables too.
That's not being a part of the show as far as programming. Yeah. But I take what you're saying. Yes.
We were there. Do it all.
From the beginning.
Day one.
In a world.
Day one-ish.
In a world.
Neither ones.
Shout out to the Usos.
So we're going to spend this time recapping AwesomeCon. Of course, 2023, not 2024. March. What the deuce?
Oh. Hey.
March.
That's new.
Why the hell would they be doing it so early?
Hey.
I wonder if it's because there were 3 other conventions going on that same weekend.
Right. Dragon Con was
down south.
That was really confusing because I'm seeing people post stuff and I'm like, "Yo, you here?" And they're like, "No, I'm here." I'm like,
"And Magic Con was in Baltimore."
Crap.
Yeah, so
maybe that's why.
Yeah, so they're probably doing for separation. That is That's super early in con season.
Mm,
March?
No, that's the beginning.
No, it's mostly April, isn't it?
Because
For pop culture and all that, it's
the
April.
first one is
Far Point is February. So yeah, you're right. That's probably the beginning parts of the cycle. Either way, that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm just kind of surprised that that even
because
happened.
Katsucon's normally the first one, right?
Katsu.
I feel
Ooh,
Katsu was during the school year last year.
probably.
I
I
know
don't
it's.
remember.
I remember it being in the spring of the year,
Right.
and it was still cold. So
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Last year,
Yeah. Okay. Well, with all that being said, we're recapping 2023 of AwesomeCon. So let's toss this around on the table. Your takeaways from this year's convention. Whoever wants to jump out.
Yo, I was really happy to see um people out of like people I didn't know that were into cons, right? Like this was a year that I really saw people um that I knew from other parts of my life. Like
Hmm.
my first adult roommate's nephew. I see. So first of all, I see my former roommate, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I think it's Caleb. This is Caleb." I'm like, "Yo, like he's 21, and his that man's oh my god,
That young man.
that young man's cosplay was vicious, and I think it was original." And then the next day, I ended up talking to him, and like, I'm asking him questions or whatever. Da, 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 da. He was like, "Oh yeah." He takes. I'm like, "Yo, this you again? Like killing it." I saw a couple of my Masonic brothers there. I saw my frat brother there. And then it's crazy, like when you're in that space, you have conversation about like kind of like not necessarily what are you doing here, but it's like, "Well, I didn't know you was into this." It's like, yeah, one of my Masonic brothers, he's he's writing a full comic, full
Dope.
series. He just needs illustrators. So
Okay. Pencilers and inkers and,
we know some
all
people.
of that.
and colorists.
We know some people.
Bet.
We know some people that are for hire.
Bet.
Yeah.
So there's that. One of my other Masonic brothers who I have not seen in more than a decade, he was at Rob's table. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, what's up, bruh? My other frat brother, he cosplayed the day after. Well, unfortunately, I missed him because I had an engagement. So he was gone by the time I got there. But like, he sent me pictures. Like he cosplayed for the first time. So it's just like you really. I mean, this year didn't disappoint. It's still that same spirit going strong as people or individuals being inspired to express themselves. You know what I'm saying? And nerd out however they see fit. It's a safe space. You know what I'm saying? And it's becoming more and more of a safe space. Like people are getting more and more creative. So I love it.
Chico.
It was good catching up with old friends and all. It was weird not seeing certain friends that have passed on. The setup of the con seemed kind of off to me.
In what way?
It was like things were in spots where they shouldn't be.
Example.
A lot of the take a C3's table. Was nowhere near the other indie comics tables.
So what we're saying for those that are watching,
they have sections.
There's a part called Artist Alley, which is for where independent artists and vendors and whatever, like small time people, would have their tables that they rent for the weekend, and they're able to sell their wares. And for this particular part, we have comic book guys.
Yeah,
that wasn't with other comic book people.
They were in like the arts and crafts, and I think Was Vortex mixed in with the comic book people?
No, she was with
she
the
was
Crafters.
she was with Crafters.
She was
Okay,
with the Crafters.
I'm trying to remember going straight down the different aisles and all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a lot of things in spaces like, wait, why is that here? Stuff. All in all, though, it wasn't bad.
I echo Chico's thoughts. It was fun to reconnect with Con family. People that you get to see maybe 2 to 3 times a year on average. It was weird to not see certain people that we've grown accustomed to seeing at Awesome or any of the other conventions we normally end up connecting with. And this it kind of was a reminder of getting older. Where as you get older, your circles get smaller, and people that you've had in your life have transitioned to that next phase of being, and you start to kind of like see your surrounding area change, your environment change. So not seeing certain people like Steve Howard not at the convention was kind of just a what's the word?
Surreal.
Yeah, surreal. That's good. We'll go with that. It was a surreal moment because it just showed that times are changing. But I think for me the big thing actually was getting to meet new fans. And that's sometimes that's like really refreshing, but also again it reminds you that you're getting older because they're getting younger. Like you will always be your age, but they will always be the same age. So meeting some newer fans from like word of mouth and people that's kind of discovering us from other people, still word of mouth, and just learning about what their interests are and like how we kind of lend into it. That's exciting. It feels like you're still making an impact. So that was kind of a cool thing for me for AwesomeCon, outside of our panel that we did. So let's talk a little bit about the panel.
Before I forget, running into one of the guys from Blurred. Blurred.com.
The dude from Blurred.
Yeah,
Now,
he remembered us from BlurredCon.
From BlurredCon, yeah. So that was kind of a funny happenstance because if by any chance you're going to end up watching this, we're still going to be in contact for the documentary. But it was kind of fun to reconnect there from the panel, which we can kind of go into right now. The panel was fire.
It was like I loved how everybody like participated, and like it kind of gave you so a lot of times with the panel, we ask people questions, to kind of give their words to describe how they felt about certain topics or subjects on nerddom, and like some of the things people said, it was like, oh, I would have never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? And it gives you like a new perspective on how some things just resonate with people, and like just how people feel about certain things. So yeah, enjoyed that.
For me, I loved the energy. Like whenever we get to panel and we really nail it, you can feel the energy from everybody in the room that's vibing off of what's being said, or the way conversations are moving, or even the participation part. And this year, being able to do what we've always done before, but in a way that, because of the conversation, felt more personal and engaging.
Mhm.
It elevated the room. And when we left, I don't know if any of you guys caught this. The person who was moderating our time, she kind of walked close up and was like, "That was a very good panel." And if a person that's working the event is commenting on it, that kind of sets the tone to say, "Okay, you nailed it." Yeah. So
There was moments I wanted to do. I wish we could have done more. Like I wanted to just take a mic down there to the people,
that was one of the things that I wanted to do, but I knew that we were going to be up on time.
Yep, that's the
And
thing.
that's why it was designed the way that it was. Because I would have loved to have had it where
like if we could just pick out certain words that they had chosen, like, yo, if y'all don't mind, who chose this word? If they like get some feedback behind why they.
Yeah, like the thing that's really hard to do at some of these panels, if you don't have like 90 minutes,
yeah,
is how much can you involve the audience?
In 45, 50 minutes?
We got a 45-minute spot.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 45-minute spot. Because the switchover is like 15 minutes.
So there are higher times?
Not for AwesomeCon.
Okay.
For some other events, there you can do a 30-minute spot, a 60-minute spot, 90-minute spot, 2 hours. If we end up getting there, Anime USA, we are shooting for 90 minutes. So that's going to give us that time to actually get a mic in front of someone and have them kind of say what they're thinking. But with this, being that we were able to have the crowd give us responses, and they reacted to the way that we reacted to them, and all of that. That was my like killer moment. Like, I don't want to talk too much about some of the things because it might make the cut for the documentary. But this is one thing I feel I can kind of share. When we were talking about hair, and Bree started off talking about all the prep that she does for cosplay and how she has to do a lot of work with her hair. And then I leaned into it to where, I don't have much. And then you leaned into it to where you have a shaved head. And then you leaned into it to bringing out your dreads. And then just everybody just, reacted. See, those are organic moments. And I love that. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, fun times for all.
Yeah. So for you, for the panel, what was it like?
I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It brought back the hype of doing our very first one. Like I said, I wanted to
as ILNL or just
yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to get down and actually get more info from the people, be in the midst of them. For me, that's a rarity because I don't like people. So, so for it to conjure that type of feeling, I figure, yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. One of the things that we were able to do for this particular convention was have Chris become a producer.
Oh, producer.
So for the first time by himself, he shot footage and asked interviewing questions, and we're excited to see what you've produced. So for the remainder of this episode of ILNL, it's all Chris Cortez. So any thoughts before we transition to?
So, I would say before doing these things, I guess producing, and that's what I did.
You're a content creator.
I'm a content creator.
Look at you.
in more ways than one. It's not just posting stuff, but definitely, the key thing is like sometimes you gotta hype yourself up. Sometimes it's good to bounce things off of people. Like you really, like the next go around, more than likely, I'm taking off. I'm taking off that day. Like, I'm not going to be, like, I did a couple of field trips back to back, like end of the school year, back to back field trips. And then I did the con. And then I had to sing at a service. And then went to the con. So it's just like, you have to, like, I get why you get a hotel and
Do all the prep.
do all the prep because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Like, I had to, like, really get and it's like, this is not, being at a con isn't new for me. You know what I'm saying? Even,
you gotta lock
questions.
in. You gotta really lock in,
bruh. And then you gotta, you just gotta get to, like, those mental blocks or whatever. So it was challenging this year because, like, it was just me. But also, like I said, like, I learned something. I learned something, like, yeah, like, that prep is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, from, you know, making sure that you eat, making sure you're hydrated, you know, and you gotta, like, kind of, you know, hype yourself up. You know what I'm saying? And get in there. So, yeah, this is a little smidget of things, but there were lessons learned, and I appreciate the vote of confidence and trust. And there will definitely be more to come. So, yeah.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and break early on the main stuff and transition over to the Chris Cortez part of the show. So any last words before you sign off? Just before that, for Chico, for myself, Kristen, and Tunisia, and introducing the debut. Any parting words?
Thank you for rocking with us. Like, yeah, continue to nerd out. Continue to, you know, go to cons, be in the space, be amongst the people. It's an amazing feeling. You're around your peoples. So, yeah. Peace.
It's changed my life a lot.
Okay.
See, I was born in the early 80s. So in the 90s, you know, growing up, it was almost kind of like a secret hidden type of nerdiness.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of almost frowned upon a little. And then I love how the new generation just took it up and just made it mainstream. And that kind of opened up everybody else, the older generation like myself, to express ourselves in a way where we could.
Okay. So, did you have any input? No input? Okay, cool. All right, cool. So, thank you so very much. Once again, the website is I Love Nerd, like the podcast is. I'll give you a sticker so you can kind of remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me about a time where nerd culture actually made your life better?
I'm actually an artist, and I've been drawing comic book characters all my life, and it's been a source of comfort and stress relief, and I've been doing it forever now. I actually post like to Instagram and TikTok.
That's what's up. And what about yourself?
Basically, art's always been a part of our life. Comic book conventions, hanging out, playing video games with him. My son and I just enjoy life all together in the geek world.
Dig it. All right, thank you all so very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Okay, so I wanted to know, has nerd culture affected like your job or like how the type of job that you want to seek out?
Not at all.
Okay. So what type of work do you do right now?
I'm a union carpenter.
Okay. Cool. How did you get into cosplay?
I saw a bunch of really cool people doing it, and I said, yeah, I could probably do that. So I decided to do it.
How long have you been cosplaying?
This is my first convention.
Came out sharp. Real sharp. Okay. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And what's your name? Just
My real name or my character's name?
yeah. Cosplay name.
Warlord Marcos.
Warlord Marcos. They can find you on what?
Instagram.
Instagram? All right, thank you,
But
sir.
my Instagram is something different. My Instagram is...
Okay, So, how has nerd culture changed your everyday life?
Honestly, I went from being just someone who enjoyed it with kids to now a full cosplay family. So it's definitely a more open community.
Wait, that's a photo. No, let me take a photo.
We can redo it.
Okay, it's go. No, you can go. But go ahead.
So it's definitely way more open of a community than even like 5 years ago. So for me, it's Jean Charcoal, daily, everything with kids.
Okay, how long have you been cosplaying?
A little bit under a year. July will be a year.
Okay, coming in shot though. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, well, thank you so very much. If people want to find you on social media,
I can give you a gift if you want
sure.
to find me on social media.
Okay, cool. Thank you so very much. All right, you can go.
All right, so your question's about how nerd culture impacts myself and my relationships.
Friendships and.
Nerd culture is kind of niche, so depending on your personality, you have like a mainstream personality. Some of your friends are not going to be probably rocking with what you do. But you just got to have a sense of self, and if it's something you like, and you have to find your strength in yourself to do what you like, and sometimes it's going to be by yourself. After a while, you'll start to meet people who have similar views to you. If you go around areas where people are participating in things that you like, you're gonna find some relationship there and connection there, and then you can hang with them. Not all friends are gonna do everything you like. You might have some friends that like gaming, and some friends you do 80%, and some might do gaming or something specialty. It's not like a one size fits all. So you gotta trust in yourself, have faith in yourself, and know that there's people that you can still connect with, even if that's not your main people.
Cool. Do you cosplay on a regular?
No, I volunteered here today and over the weekend, and then I just decided, like, after yesterday, I was like, I gotta come back with a costume.
So this is your first cosplay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I put this on before. Thanks, man. I put this on before during Halloween, but like I haven't really done this. This is my first Comic-Con anything.
Well, welcome to cosplay.
I appreciate it.
All right, are you on IG or anything?
Nah, I don't be on social media like that. Nah.
That's cool. Okay. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Okay. So how has nerd culture changed the way, how has it changed your life and how you express yourself?
I know I've got a place where I can wear a costume that I would wear any other time. Get looked at funny, but I know here I've got people that they recognize it, they love it, and they think about memories attached to it.
Absolutely.
Just things like that. Everybody's got a different childhood memory, and there's so many different costumes that people think of that.
Okay. How long you been cosplaying?
This is like, okay, yeah, I wore a costume last year. This is my second year doing it.
Okay. Well, your costume definitely takes people back. Those of us that knows about Rainbow Bright, it definitely takes us back. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. So how has nerd culture affected how you interact with people and your friendships?
It's affected me in many ways. I've opened up and become more open with artists that I deal with, because I get artists to work on our books and stuff like that. Family and friends, it's opened it up for that to really become more open to what I do, because I started as a comic book collector and then it grew into becoming a creator. So that's how it kind of opened up my work to this culture.
Okay, cool. How long have you been doing your comic book? Awesome.
Yeah, it's Utterly Ridiculous Productions, and we've got something called the Movers, and it's based around all animal and anthropomorphic type of characters, because I own a farm. And what I would do is when I drove into work, my other jobs, which I work at the medical center, I would wonder what the cows and the animals were doing while I was gone, and I come up with stories in the car, and I put them down on paper, and then my comic book company was born.
Okay, cool. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So, how has nerd culture affected how you interact with your friends and just life in general?
Nerd culture affects, I mean, it's a really great thing. It's a really positive thing. It's really great for the community. I really respect what we got going on in this community. It's really great to see everybody in costumes and just doing great, amazing things and just enjoying themselves, laughing, buying new items. And everyone creating dope, really good things. I really enjoy it, and I really support it a lot. It's really amazing.
Cool. All right. So, can you tell us a little bit about your brand, Two Land?
Absolutely. So Two Land is about a superhero named Drip. Two Land is a land where Drip comes from, and Drip is an acronym, and it stands for Do Right and Inspire People. We take out superheroes, we travel all across the country and the world to different schools and high schools, to different anti-bullying centers, to inspire the kids, inspire the youth to do something great and do something positive with themselves. Positive, I used to always tell myself like that. Superheroes is to inspire people, and inspire me as a kid to do something great and do something positive as well. Because we not only want a superhero that fights action and crime, but we want a superhero that also delivers a really good positive message to go along with it. If that being said, y'all ain't never seen that crime fighting action figure Tiger with the hat, with the locks, also with the Jordans on his feet. You ain't never seen nothing like that. It's really great. And it's no point in having a superhero if you ain't got no meaning to it, y'all. They're here to bring something great that people can relate to, and also give that action and give them a really good message to go along with that as well. We got this 44-page high gloss comic series novel right here. You see my man Drip take on Rampage. 44 pages long, fast paced. This book has a lot of substance, has a lot of value and meaning to it, and has a really dope story to go along with that as well. Like I said, really great. Check us out. We got a brand new issue. Coming out this summer. I'd love for you guys to check us out. Really dope. Really great. Positive content.
I appreciate it. So, how has nerd culture changed your life and how you express yourself?
It's definitely made me like a lot more outgoing. Just kind of coming to conventions, embracing this just makes me happy. This is really fun. Has kind of enabled me to like just be more confident in general.
I'd say that nerd culture explores the realm of imagination of what people think about collectively, and being able to kind of dive into it. It's like a lot of people have thought of stuff that you might have thought about, and it's just cool to swim in that. So I think it gives me ideas for things to create or pursue sometimes. Even though it's not quite real life, it's like kind of imagining how things can go.
Okay. Well, thank you all so very much. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, you too.
If you didn't get any